think Kyle Rittenhouse is the absolute best example of that. I remember making a video a while ago, and you know how you have like your Turning Point USA and CPAC venues and everything, where it's just essentially professional wrestling. They have all the dog and pony show and the pageantry and stagecraft associated with it.
Yeah.
And I saw one, and they just had the confetti, they had the fween, and they had the lights flashing and everything. And they just started chanting Kyle Rittenhouse. And get loud for Kyle. He came out, on stage like he was Hulk Hogan in 1989 or something. And I sat there and thought, there is one reason that man is famous. It's because he killed 2 people. Like that's it. Now, listen, if you want to be as charitable as possible with Kyle Rittenhouse and say, listen, I looked at the footage and I looked at the situation, and I think Kyle Rittenhouse did have the legal right to shoot those people in self-defense. Look, if they just said that, like if that was the conservative position, I'd be like, okay. All right. I mean, look, a judge agreed with you and the jury agreed with you. If that's your decision, fine. No, they don't stop there. It's like, not only do I believe he had the legal right to kill those people, I'm fucking glad he did it. I love it. I want people to do it more. I get hard thinking about it. I mean, they've made this kid into a celebrity, like a household name for positive reasons on their side. And they don't think about like the pathology of that and like what that says about the movement. Like I don't understand it. I really don't, because like if I did this, this is before I was even like made my full left turn. What was that guy's name? The American Sniper, Chris Kyle.
Chris Kyle.
Yeah, before I knew what a scumbag this guy was and everything. But it's like, man, I don't know if we really want to be celebrating someone whose claim to fame was having more sniping kills than anybody else. That's just feels kind of icky. And then it turns out he was even worse than we thought before. But yeah, the conservative movement, they love death more than we love life. It's a common thing with these folks.
It's absolutely true.
It's funny you said that, TJ, because I had the same reaction when watching American Sniper, where like it was before, I was kind of just a normie liberal at the time.
Yeah.
But I was watching, and I was just like, like I'm enjoying the performance. Like it's overall well directed, but there's just something deeply icky about celebrating this guy for killing a bunch of people. And then I found out later that, he is just straight up a monster.
The worst.
It's funny how that often works out, isn't it?
Yeah, trust your suspicions on that. Were you going to say something, Brandon? I thought I cut you off there.
Oh, no, you're fine. I just think, it's so sad watching them cling to people like that. And that's the people they make out to be the heroes. And, like I said, with Rittenhouse, it's like they was sitting back. He did the thing that they all wanted to do.
Yes.
They were sitting back. That's what it was. And they can't, like you said, they can't stop right there. You could make the argument, okay, in that scenario, he had a right to defend himself. But I always go back to, when I saw him walking down the street with that weapon in his hand with surgical gloves on, the first thought that went through my head is that a black kid wouldn't have made it that far with that.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's what really leaped off the page at me watching it, while everyone else is watching it from the angle of, he went there to defend his town or, whatever. I'm like, no, not at all. It was, I'm looking at it from a different angle, thinking he would have never made it. The same thing I was thinking on January 6th when I watched them storm the Capitol. I'm just thinking if this was black people, it would be a completely different reaction.
It is. And that is the thing to kind of follow up on all of that is, if Kyle Rittenhouse was someone worthy of praise, the reaction Kyle Rittenhouse would have been shame. Even if
true. Good point. Excellent point.
Even if you 100% believe that he was innocent. And you know what? I didn't fucking look at the legal case. Like it really, you guys know I don't like fucking going into legal shit. But like, even if it's like, he was in that situation, had the legal right to defend himself. Cool. But that doesn't mean he was right to place himself in that situation. And someone who went through that experience, killed 2 people, who wouldn't be dead if not for his actions, and doesn't have any shame about that. That's not someone worth celebrating. And like, it's a 17-year-old kid, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I think Kyle Rittenhouse himself is a victim in the entire saga, because these conservative talking points, these riots are burning down the cities, we got to defend these businesses and whatnot. It caused a 17-year-old kid to take a gun, go into a very dangerous situation, and put himself in danger with the capacity to use lethal force to get himself out of it.
Yeah.
And that decision resulted in the death of 2 people. Now, our legal system isn't equipped to deal with that, nor do I think it necessarily should factor in such a the Pandora's box.
Delicious.
Pandora's box would be far too open if that was a crime. But morally speaking, he should be ashamed of that. And you shouldn't be happy that this happened. It should be this is terrible. This is a terrible tragedy. But you're right, TJ. They don't do that. They celebrate it. And it really shows they didn't learn their fucking lesson.
And I can't remember what it was that one of the people that he killed was. I can't remember what they had on their rap sheet, what it was they had did. But I remember hearing people say, well, they deserved it. You know, they had that attitude. And I'm like, well, you're the same people that says all lives matter. It just proves that they really don't to you, you know.
Yeah, it was the guy had a sexual assault charge.
Yeah,
they said, so he deserved to die. It's like, well, Kyle Rittenhouse didn't know that, and he didn't deserve to die. I mean, that's just like, it's nonsense.
If Kyle Rittenhouse did know that, it was definitely fucking murder.
Yeah, that would just definitely make him a murderer. That's a good point. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But yeah, it's I wanted to point this out too. So you guys remember Trayvon Martin years ago and everything. The guy who shot him, George Zimmerman, also a hero to the right wing. Do you guys remember this? When people met with George Zimmerman and had him signing Confederate flags and signing bags of Skittles. For those of you who don't remember, Trayvon Martin was carrying, he had gone to a gas station and picked up a bag of Skittles and I think an Arizona tea or something like that. And hilarious. They just think it's so funny. Oh my God. They make them heroes for killing people, whether justified or not. They love, like you said, they live vicariously. Man, I would love the chance to kill someone like that. Like they think that all the time, and it's dark and it's scary that we have to live in the same country with these folks. That you probably go to work or see these people every day. It always happens. It's just sad.
Yeah, and these people also are fired up and ready to vote. And I had Denver Riggleman on my podcast. He made an excellent point. He said, a stupid vote counts the same as a smart vote.
Yeah,
and a hateful vote counts the same way. So I just think we really need to stay focused, because those people, while they live vicariously through people like that, they're also amped up and ready to vote. And so we got to keep our eye on the ball.